42 pouring in my cup. In the session, real loud, good gas, yeah, you know we about to roll it up. Bring the bottles to the session, big tab, go ahead and just live it up. Get lit one night, after that, we can go ahead.
What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Icon. And we're here on 95 South Podcast once again. And once again, I want to thank God for this opportunity to be able to come on here and to be able to do what we do. Before I introduce my right hand man, we had a big weekend last weekend. Shout out once again to It's Your Time Conference. If you missed it, you just missed it because it was a lot of people out there, a lot of networking from producers to engineers to promoters to streaming networks to everybody that you think of from all kind of different worlds, record labels, all kind of stuff was out there in the building. The artists was promoting and marketing with each other real heavy. So if you missed it, I'm just gonna tell you, it'd be a crying shame for you not to be out there next year because everything that we asked for these type of conferences, I'm not gonna lie, I was in the building those couple of days. I can't front on it. It was a nice turnout, and the way they put it together was very, very helpful for everybody involved. So anyway, let me introduce my right hand man, your baby mama's favorite host. You know what I'm saying? Barry White Jr. himself, my man Jacob the Great. What's going on, fam?
What up, man? You know, glad to be in the land of the living. Each day we wake up, we got a chance and a choice and another day to get it right, man. You know, I don't know nobody else, man, but I try to stay blessed by the best. You know what I mean? So,
no doubt.
So yes, sir.
So go ahead and get this thing cracking. Introduce this young man so we can go ahead and get this interview going.
All right, man. Today we have none other than Lil Terry, man. Artist, activist, you know, social influencer, just to name a few, man. By the way of Minnesota to ATL, Georgia, you know what I mean? We was just talking about this snow. He from a place where he used to that snow. So, you know, he from Minnesota.
Not no more.
So. Not no more.
Not no more. I've been in Georgia for too long.
I heard that, man. So, man, when people ask, man, who is Lil Terry, what is your answer for that?
Oh, man. Lil Terry is just a joyful person. About the kids, about changing, making an impact in the community, bringing people together. Don't like the system of the government, so just trying to find a way of taking control of its own community in a sense, especially in the Black community.
Okay. And with that being said, man, how did you become so passionate for music, and when did you start music?
Well, I came down here to act, so that was my first thing when I came down here to act. I grew up in music, so that was just a given. As in a Black world, in a sense, it's more like a hobby. I mean, we live it, so it's just something I grew up on. So I started doing music in 2013, but outside of music, what I like the most is just getting on stage and and seeing people react to it and getting them hyped and jumped and give them that energy, being that, connecting to the audience in a sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I love the most.
Okay, so with that being said, growing up in music, Black household, what do you feel that's needed from a young man like yourself and other people like yourself? How do you feel that you guys can impact the way listeners listen to music and change the narrative on what we're seeing today in the music world?
Well, one thing I did not like, and it's kind of true, but then it's not, because we don't necessarily see what happens, behind closed doors. But hip hop, it's a $1 trillion industry, and with hip hop, we don't come back and save the communities of grandma and grandpa. You know, buy up the blocks or the houses. You know what I'm saying? Bring back the I know y'all done had black parties. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where y'all eat and bring out the community and different things of that nature. I don't see that going on as much. A lot of celebrities use like nonprofits, you know what I'm saying, to give back to the community, but to bring the community together that's inside the community, and we all pitch together and we all eat together and come together, you know what I'm saying, to make that happen. I don't see that happening when it comes down to hip hop. You know, it's all about like a I type situation instead of like a bringing unity inside the streets. I don't see that happening.
Okay, I got it. Icon, you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, because this is kind of funny because, you know, this young man being from Minnesota but being in Atlanta for a minute, and it's one thing I always talk about because people got this misconception that Atlanta is so unified in the music industry, and I tell them that's probably one of the biggest lies told. I said because
it's not.
You may get the top from the T.I.s and the Luders and the 2 Chainz and all those guys, they may stick together. But when you come to the smaller, the independent artists and the artists below them, it's kind of like crabs in the barrel, just like everywhere else.
Yeah.
Unless these guys grew up, like if I grew up, me and your auntie grew up together, or if I used to date your sister or something of that nature, then I may put you on. But if it ain't one of those kind of like, you know, like community type things, then it's not that's not the case. You know what I mean? So I understand what I mean by that. You know what I mean? So,
excuse me.
So that's why I get from it or whatever. So, you know, so how long, because you grew up in Minnesota, how long have you been in Atlanta?
Yeah. About 11 years.
Okay, so you've already been about the same Atlanta about the time I've been there. Because the one thing that I learned, because I came in Atlanta about 2008. And one thing I noticed, like back then, it was probably more unity and more community back then, because when you would go to these events, a lot of the artists did kind of network with each other, try to come together. Even the open mics, the showcases seem to have more value. Over the last several years, it's just either a money grab and artists just stay in the house and stay on social media. So for you, how much has it changed for you over the years of trying to adjust to the music industry?
Well, I'm still so. One thing I learned in the realm of independency, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to artists, because not everybody is mainstream. So I was the cat that was, you know, pressing CDs. You know, I was that cat pressing CDs. You know what I'm saying? Like even when people was like, "Man, that's old." I'm only 35 years old, but I remember how they was selling CDs out their trunk. They was actually throwing parties and feature themselves. You know what I'm saying? They would gather the community and maybe host 4 or 5 artists together inside that one event. And I was trying to tell artists, is like, put some old flavor in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not all about the Instagram and the Facebook or you know, streaming and downloading it. It's that's just one lane. But if you're able to get in the community, pass out, you know, the flyers or to network or to have a in-person connection, you know what I'm saying, you will have a better reach. But a lot of people, like, social media are really lazy. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, like, we sit back and act like everything's gonna happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? So if they really like just take their time, like I'm working on this LLC called Bring That Energy. And when I heard that hip hop don't necessarily come back to the community and buy up, like do real estate or help people in the community, Bring That Energy. Bring That Energy is more than just music. We're gonna donate the funds from whatever ticket or performance slot is paid for, and we're gonna put it back into the community. You feel what I'm saying? So that's my ideal of giving back. Giving back to the community through music. You feel what I'm saying? So that's my idea. And I think if we all come together like that, we will have houses and mansions or blocks, you feel what I'm saying, where we're able to have control of.
Mm-hmm.
I see your finger up, Jay. You want to say something?
Listen, man. People look at me like I'm a estranged guy or I'm speaking French when I say that the digital era on social media has made artists extremely lazy. And it's
They
very
are.
true, man. It's very true, man. I remember, man, when artists used to throw, I'm from the country, a yard party, we call them. And it used to be like 800 people out there, bro. And you would have maybe 3 artists perform. You
I'm trying
know,
to tell you. Block
DJ
parties.
do yeah, man. The DJ do a little intermission, somebody performing, and somebody got a hat taking up donations, man. Just give artists a little something for their time. It wasn't much, man, but it was it was a scene, man, where people came together in fellowship. You know what I mean? So I feel you, man. That LLC that you're working on, please bring it back, man. I support that, man. I really support that. And then what artists gotta understand, your music can have a big impact on community development. Because if you have something in your music of substance with purpose, you don't have to use all this profanity. You got people, the local business owners, nonprofits, a lot of people will get back to you for your music. Or they'll tell you, well, once you do this type of show, and I get the nonprofit supported, and and we'll get some media out there, some cameras out there, and we'll do a whole write up on you on how you impacted the community through the art form of music. But when you tell artists this now, they act like you speaking in Chinese.
They want the quicker way.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
They want the
Mm-hmm.
quicker way. I have a nonprofit. I have contracts in 3 different states. And I reached out to a couple of labels. I reached out to artists that say that they can't afford performance slots. They can't afford material promotion items. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I got contracts, so you could come out and volunteer, and I can donate. It's a proven system. I write grants on behalf of my nonprofit to businesses, nonprofits, and for profits. And all we ask for is for your company to send out volunteers to help us fundraise, and in return, we can give you a grant to your businesses. They don't want to do that because it's considered a job in a sense. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just social media is it's like a gift and curse, but I think that it's more of a curse than anything. Because
Okay.
everybody look, yeah, it's just
Hold on, slow down for a second. So I want, because I'm trying to understand myself. What you doing? So explain to me when you say, okay, you trying to get money for artists to be able to have money to go towards the funding, or what exactly you doing?
yeah. So with our nonprofit, we have contracts in 3 different states. So like I stay in Atlanta, right? So it's State Farm Arena, and then it's Atlanta Braves. We're not able to. We're not here to. We can't pay volunteers. So we came up with a program called 30-day fundraising program, and it allow people to come out that has a cause. And when you come out and volunteer, each day, you know what I'm saying, we'll come up with some type of number or whatever, and we would write a grant to whatever your cause is. So like right now we have it's a football, we call him coach, but he have a women's football team. So he'll send out his girls to come out to fundraise on behalf of the company. And then at the end of the 30 days, that grant will be given to this company.
Okay, okay. So is it a certain number that y'all agree upon ahead of time, or is it based on the work that they do over the 3 days, or how does that work?
Over the 30 days. So we give you a calendar, and in that calendar, you just pick whatever day. It's not a job. It's to give back to the community. So you just pick whatever day, and then you just
Mm-hmm.
come out and volunteer. Our job is just to give back to the community. That's all. We want to bless businesses. We want to bless people that have ideas but not able to afford the startup costs. You know what I'm saying, or anything like that. Like, of course, you don't see this happening day to day, but that's what I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of that community.
Okay, and you say your reception has not been what you wanted, or how's your reception going towards with the people in the community or the businesses that you're trying to present this to?
Say what again?
I said, so as far as the businesses that you're trying to present this to, or the community itself, how is it going as far as the reception of it?
So, well, as long as it meets the in our mission and our vision, stay in that ballpark, anybody is pretty much accepted.
You know what I'm saying? Are people being receptive towards it? Or people like being gravitating to it?
Hold on, you breaking up?
No, I said, are people gravitating to it? Are people like being
Yes.
receptive?
Oh yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They are definitely. We done donated, I would say, over 65,000 this year.
Okay. Okay. So 65,000 since January 1st? Or
No, I'm talking about the count of last year, like
okay,
last year.
okay.
This just started. So
Gotcha.
we had one contract last year. We got 3 contracts this year.
Okay, cool. Okay. So so in the end, what's the kind of like the ultimate goal or the end goal or the 5-year plan or whatever you want to call it? What's the goal for all of this? The end goal to it?
Well, our goal is just to bring the community together, whereas we're able to control our own destiny. I truly believe that if we come together, we will be able to build a community. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? How like we are able to build our. I truly believe that we're able to build our community if we could just come together. I am
Gotcha.
working on another LLC, like it's like a movement. It's called Brothers Getting Money, and then Sisters Getting Money. You follow what I'm saying? It's a movement. We just come together and we just make impactable decisions, and we just taking over in a positive way.
Okay, gotcha. So do you have like plans to do like a lot of events and different, things, performances, showcases, or what? So
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, I got another company called In the Crib.
Mm-hmm.
That's a platform. It's called In the Crib. It's a kids platform that is geared to keep kids off the streets in harm of trouble. So we just give them a platform to showcase their talents, and then bring that energy is for adults. And everything that I do gives back to the community. So a percentage of whatever is paid through the community is given back to the foundation.
Got you. Okay. Go ahead, Jacob.
All right, so you got some very impactful stuff, my brother. So as far as you, what type of um professionals though you looking to work with? Because I've worked on the human trafficking side with Unique Blessings out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I actually had the experience to be in the courtroom with them. I had the experience to see her go in the process of starting her nonprofits and learn how to make rent. So one thing about these girls that are human trafficking, they have nowhere to come back to. They really don't have facilities. They really don't have, mental health programs. So it's a lot of components that's missing even when you find them. Um, and mentally they're damaged, emotionally and spiritually. So with you working with the kids and working with kids from different walks of life, um, what do you see that is needed from society to help these children?
Well, first, kids is our number one stop. That's our number one goal, is to save as many kids as possible. The second, we know, us three that's on this live right now, we know what the system has done to break up the leadership that we once had in the community. And they either locked up or in jail. So I believe that if we come back together somehow, some way, as leaders, not just talking or planning or trying to execute, you know what I'm saying, but just as leaders, no matter where we at. Just as if we can, get on this live right now in maybe 3 or 2 different states, we can meet. You know what I'm saying? And if 3 people meet, and then you got 3 other people meeting, then you got other people. That's 9 people meeting. You feel what I'm saying? To figure out how can we as leaders make an impact in the community. So I think that us as leaders going to start first. It's going to start with the leaders. We got to build leaders. We got to teach leaders. We got to let them know that they can be leaders. And I think that's where it starts. It's not the end. Forget the tail end. You know what I'm saying? Like it starts right here. You know what I'm saying? Like if you saying something about trafficking and we need to save these kids, we need to figure out how to get together, come up with a plan, donate inside of a facility or whatever like that. Whatever it takes, let's just do it. Walk of faith. That's what's going to take.
I can dig it. I can dig it. And so, with you being a recording artist, an actor, and all the above, man, do you have programs inside of your nonprofit that gears toward teaching arts to kids? Because arts can keep a kid off the street too. So, because there's so many forms of art, but to use that art form as a platform to enchannel kids' minds and to inspire them that you can be great at this. And so, how many phases of art do you have within your program?
Well, mentoring is a given for us. I mentor a lot of kids just by talking to them, not one-on-one sessions or anything like that, but through in the crib. In the crib, allow kids just to have fun and be themselves. We always trying to take them out of the element and want them to grow up fast. But through our platforms, like our shows, our showcases that we do for kids, we give them balloons to play with. We actually play with them in a sense. We give them that joy. And we had a lot of great feedbacks from the parents as of it's not normal for their kids to come in and just be welcome, as a kid in a sense. And majority of situations that is taken away of. Now we are working on we have a program, a youth program called From the Streets to the Stage Youth Program. And you know what it means by the word of street. I want to change that narrative. Is street don't mean that you done gang banged and sold drugs and nothing like that. The streets meaning that's where you start from. You know what I'm saying? The stage is where it's not a finish line, but I made it. You feel what I'm saying? Like now it's not time to shine. So that's what From the Streets to the Stage is all about. So we do have that in place, and it's about acting classes, dance classes, mentoring, after school programs. We already do shopping sprees. Every show that we do for the kids, we give away $250 shopping sprees every month. We do child outings, so we take the kid out on this child outing to Dave and Buster's, different things of that nature. We already do that. We do family vacation giveaways every month. So we already do things. It's just that we need a team, we need a village. You feel what I'm saying? That's the way this gonna blossom. So yeah.
Right. So what really inspired you, man, to really go full throttle with your nonprofit, and how do you keep yourself so passionate about the community, about the kids, about the way that you're going to be able to change some laws, and how you can change the narrative into a child that's broken up mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, man, and like what keeps your fire burning?
Well, let's go to the music side, right? Everybody look at music as poison. But what saved me from the streets and different things of that nature, I listened to something. I had a lot of OGs around me. You feel what I'm saying? So they done told me like, yo, this the wrong way. I've been through this. Don't do this. But one thing I realized is that if a child or even a 19, 18-year-old or whatever, if they didn't have that old head or that OG or however they call it today, if they didn't have that growing up, they didn't already have a mentality like, well, I'm gonna do it my way. You feel what I'm saying? So they influence from what they hear because they have no direction. You feel what I'm saying? But if they can actually get some type of direction, hear that music and look at it as that's their story, and it's like a weapon or saying like, this is what I've been through. Don't you do this, young man, or don't you do this, young lady. You know what I'm saying? Like if we can just change the narrative in that part, it could save a lot of kids in music, because a lot of these kids are just misdirected. That's all. They don't have no issues, no problems. We say that. They don't have, they're not retarded or slow. We say that as society. We give them an excuse to do what they want out there. And to me, that's not right. Because these kids is not slow. They just take whatever you say, you feel what I'm saying, and they're gonna use it to have an excuse to do what they're doing out there. That's just how I feel. But what I want to do is pour into the kids and let them know that not only is there a way out, but I'm gonna show you that there's a way out. Because I am that living testimony. But I want to show you there's no more talking, sitting on panels and just pointing to you like a therapist. None of that. I'm gonna take your hand and we're gonna walk this marathon together. And I think that's what we need the most.
Wow. Kudos to you, my brother. Kudos to you, man. You're definitely a blessing on so many different levels, man. And for you to be under 40 and for you to have given, I seen you, I checked you out. I checked your turkey giveaway out. I've been checking you. Yeah, bro, I checked you out. I checked you out.
Appreciate it.
I say that to say this, man, is when I called Jonathan today, I said, man, I got an open time slot. He said, man, King Jacob, I got somebody perfect for you, man. And you gonna enjoy it and y'all gonna vibe. And so, I went to scrolling through your page and stuff like that, and I said, man, this young man doing a lot. He remarkable, man. Like, so when you talk about leading, you already are leading. And you're leading with a purpose. And you leading to take the purpose and the substance to different levels. So, you can inspire somebody else so they can be like, Terry is the reason why I didn't give up. He the reason why I didn't go to prison. He the reason why me and my mom is back connected now. Cause he showed me what family is, what unity is, and what love is. And so, I tell people all the time, if you can save one from doing 25 years, you did an amazing job. You know what I mean? Yeah. So man, I'm gonna say, man, keep doing what you're doing. I salute you, man, and back to you, Icon.
Okay, so I want to get your opinion on this, little Terry. So the one thing I do gotta talk about and back me on this is I talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of anything. And the one thing about the event we went to last week, the conference we went to last week, that was disturbing to me was they 150 artists to audition. Within the last 10, one of them that I seen was a female basically doing a twerk song. And I was baffled because I was like, okay, you're gonna tell me out of 150 artists, this is in the final 10, because at the end of the day, if we want change in our community, if we want change in our kids, then we have to also be the change also. We're in that generation, that 35 to 40 to 50-year-old that has to show these kids a better way, because I feel like we let the industry control too much of what our kids do, what they watch, and how they're represented. We're the only genre of music where the top artist in our genre of music is either gang banging, either on perks and mollies, or either twerking. No other genre of music, their top artist is doing the most negative things you can do in music. So what is your opinion on that?
Well, one thing we cannot do is we can't beat the internet. It's meant, and this is just my opinion. I'm always say my opinion. It's meant to drag us down. I really believe that the internet is to really like drag us to the mud. They don't really put the positive out as much as they should coming from our end when it comes down to hip hop versus something that's going to sell. Society is all about what's going to sell. and what's going to sell. Negative, right? So a lot of these parents are kids with their friends with their kids. So everything is cool now when it comes down to parents. I think if somehow, some way we can hold the parents accountable, not just dads or anything like that, but the parents accountable, I think we'll have a better solution when it comes down to the internet. That's just my opinion. We can't beat the internet. The internet is just meant for negativity. It just is. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll take you down speaking the truth. Like, you could die speaking the truth. They would get rid of you for speaking the truth. They will blackball you for speaking the truth. But they will let your video live if you speaking, if you're twerking or you half naked or you done stabbed somebody, you done shot somebody. Like, they'll promote that all day. So we can't we get the internet. It's the streets. What you doing behind closed doors? That's what matters. What we doing? We got to get off this internet. The leaders got to get off the internet. Ain't no more talking on the internet. Forget that. That's done. That's over with. We don't see that too much. All people doing is just talking on the internet.
You know, it's funny you say that because I talk about Jacob about this all the time. When I see these OGs, a lot of them have been in prison for 20, 30 years. They done did all kind of probably 1 million bricks back in the day, 80s and the 70s, and they get on the internet and they try to compete with the young people on the internet. I tell them, I say the internet is all a rap game. The internet is a young man's game. So
yes.
if you get and you trying to compete with them and tell them what they can't do and they can't be snitching and they can't be doing this, that, and the third, and then they looking at you like, oh, gee, you a bum, you passed your time, and then you going back and forth with them, you already done lost. You know what I'm saying? Because the internet is not, it's not based on like heroes, or it's not based on like people who are like tough. It's based on a lot of people on the internet are weak-minded people that they'll talk tough to you on the internet, but it's just like sometimes they see you riding down the road and they feel like you cut them off or you did something to them and they throw the bird at you. But as soon as you pull up beside them at the stoplight, you look over, they're gonna be like this, like, you know what I mean? They ain't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Same thing. You know what I'm saying?
I just think we need to bring back the power, man. If say for instance, like if we need to walk the streets more. That's what we need to do. Walk the streets. You feel what I'm saying? Like, when you see somebody, like, we afraid to correct that child. We afraid of that. If we see some people like they over there jumping, we'll put a camera out. You feel what I'm saying? Or we'll laugh at it. You know what I'm saying? Or we'll just walk. No, hey, break that up. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. We don't want the streets enough. We just on the internet. Like that. We gotta walk the streets more. That's all I gotta say. We can't be afraid. We're afraid.
If we try to compete with the internet, I tell people one thing about the internet, Laterra. I said, boy, anything I can tell you about the internet stay undefeated.
It's undefeated. You can't beat it.
Undefeated, man.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, Laterra. So, reading your bio, you talked about credit. So I'm guessing basically you're talking about credit repair or the importance of credit. So just kind of explain to people, you know, what's your role in, you know, us in having, you know, understanding credit. The thing a lot of people don't realize is credit only really been around since like the late 70s. That's what a lot of people don't realize, and probably even less time than that in the black community. Yeah, like credit only been around for a short amount of time, and in the black community, it's probably only really been around since maybe like the 80s. And even then, you got to think your parents, your grandparents still didn't understand it then. And so we're really talking about probably more like the 90s going into the 2000s, where we really started to realize the importance of credit after most people's credit was already messed up. So now you get people our age. I'm a victim of it, where you get that when you get to that age where now you're trying to basically in catch-up mode, trying to get your credit caught up or trying to get it fixed so you can buy a house, so you can do certain things or whatever. You know, even we think about bankruptcy. white people go bankrupt all the time and still survive it. But so certain
I'm
things
gonna
that
tell
we
you
don't
about that though.
all of that.
Do y'all okay? What do bankruptcy look? What do y'all think about bankruptcy? What do y'all think bankruptcy is when it comes down to the Caucasian family? Why you think they go bankrupt?
I mean, I just feel like they go bankrupt. So I mean, one, to start all over, and two, I think it actually, I don't know. I think it actually, once you wipe your credit clean, it's almost like you starting, like you getting, like you a new person or something. I don't know. I'm still trying to understand it myself, because I know you got chapter 7, you got chapter 13. I've known people that gone bankruptcy and they didn't kill them. They actually survived it, and they even actually, I known people actually thrive even more after they went bankrupt. You know what I mean? So
Have you ever heard of ONCE?
ONCE. Yeah, I heard of it. Yeah.
Own nothing, control everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when they do bankruptcy, they're not necessarily in debt. You feel what I'm saying? It's just a clean slate for you don't have to touch what's over there. That's it. So 50 Cent did it. 50 Cent filed bankruptcy and they thought he was broke. But nah, he got some stuff over there that you can't touch because you know nothing about it.
Yeah.
It's just to get away out of, what I'm saying, out of the upfront. So when it comes down to credit, the reason why I love credit is because it's easy. And when you look at these videos and you're talking about 100K and you can get a Mercedes Benz, but stop watching those, because it's that's gonna lead you another way, and you're gonna always play catch up. It's impossible if you are in the 500s, low 60s, 600s. It's impossible. Okay, just stop there. What I speak about credit is like the mindset, right? Generation wealth. There's 3 people on this live, right? If you put $200 on a Navy Federal credit card, if you do it and I do it and he do it, right? And we pay for 6 months straight, we get $2,000 at the end of that 6 month period. So that's 2,000 for you, 2,000 for me, 2,000 for him. If we do it at the same time, right? That's $6,000. Now, within the next 3 months, you might go up another 1,000 if you pay on time. So now you're looking at close to $10,000. If we working together, we could take that credit and go purchase a house. You know what I'm saying? Now we in business together. That's what I speak about credit, and that's an easy thing to do. That's within a year that you can that it can be done. I don't speak about things that's going to take you 10 years or 5 years to do. You feel what I'm saying? That's not what I speak about when it comes down to credit. They got kickoff that can repair credit. They got self that can repair credit twice. You feel what I'm saying? They have Navy Federal credit union, easy to get in. Things that's right now that you can start to build your credit. I even got a lady out in California come with a ticket, but it's a proven fact. She clinked my credit, and mine came from 620 to 710. It's a proven fact. So this is just a proven fact. It's just are you willing to invest? Lexington Law, no, I'm not going to refer Lexington Law or anything like that. That's just not what I'm going to do. I did those for a year, and they couldn't get off the major accounts that I needed off. They just want your money. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm all about results. But credit it's just like a bank account, man. Like people look at put money in a bank account. You might as well just put money into your credit cards. You're paying yourself back anyway. When you put money into a bank account and you spend that money, what you gotta do? Replenish it. But what most people say, when I spend the money on the credit card, I gotta pay it back. You gotta pay back the money in the bank account. They ain't gonna give you no more. So why not put money into a credit card and you keep paying it every month, and they giving you money versus putting your money into a bank account? You spend that guy, you gotta put money into the bank account again. They ain't giving you nothing but a cent at the end of the year. That's what I teach.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Logic of it.
Jacob, you still there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. 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 So you want to chime in?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, with teaching people credit, and you know, because you have some people tell people that they can make their credit score go up, but if are you going to clean my credit? Or are you going to clean the delinquents? But are that is that stuff going to get removed from my credit report? Because a lot of people will tell you that they can clean your credit, but what are you doing to remove it from the credit report? Are you creating a CPN file? Are you writing letters to the bureaus? Like, what are you really doing? Because you can people can, if they know how to do it, they can really do it themselves. But then once you get that personal credit the way you want it to be, 17, 720, 740, and you have an LLC. So how are you going to make this LLC do work for you and you not work for it?
That's a
Mm-hmm.
question for me.
No, I'm just saying that's a generalized question. But I do want you to chime in on the question.
Talking about for the business per se.
Yes, sir. Business. LLC, sole proprietorship in corporations, whether you're gonna throw all three of them into a trust, because once you put all them companies to a trust, you know, and dealing with your banker slash RIS, that puts you into another light with them. They think of you differently then.
Okay, well let's start here. You said something about trust, right? So which one did y'all hear about the most? Whole life insurance or term life insurance?
All my life, I heard about whole life the most.
I heard about term. I
Now,
started off hearing
I don't think you
way
heard whole
back.
life.
Yeah, I've heard about term. That go back from the
Yeah,
promise.
I the reason I can say that because my pops was employed by the Department of Corrections my whole life, and he talked about his whole life policy, and then
Okay.
listening to other people
Uh
who
huh.
didn't like term, because term you can't get in. Term holds no cash value, and so a lot of
That's what I'm
people
gonna
that
say.
Yeah.
study insurance let you know that even if it's a small whole life, they'll tell you get something that can grow cash value. Because what I can tell you versus us and versus white people have been taking the cash value out of their whole life policy and starting businesses for years.
And another thing about term too. Another thing about term before little Terry go is thing about term life is they actually betting on you to forget about it over the years, because if it expires after the 20 or 30-year mark, then it
Yep.
starts over and it's like you never had it. So if you mess around
Yep.
and let it lapse and then the person dies or gets old and nobody knows they even had it, then all of a sudden they die and then they be like, well, they had life insurance, but they let it lapse and ain't nobody gonna call you and necessarily make you renew it. Whereas whole life, like I say, has cash value and pretty much it just go on and on until basically until you do die. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And
It's a
so
win-win situation when it comes down to whole life. Term life is just like them speaking about public charity nonprofits. Um they don't teach you about the private foundations when it comes down to nonprofits. Private foundations, the Bill and the Melissa's Foundation, where they able to own and manage. You find I'm saying that foundation. That's the same thing with whole life. Whole life, you're able to pay on it, take the cash out of it, and invest, or even pay on a major hospital bill or anything like that. And you actually borrowing from yourself. They don't teach us that. You're borrowing from you. You're your own bank. You're not.
mm-hmm.
You don't have to go to no bank. You ain't gotta go to no lender. You ain't gotta go get a loan. Nothing. You're borrowing from your own money. And then you put your own money back. It's just like a credit card. You spend your money, you put it back. Everything else outside of that, you just paying money. Just like insurance on your car. What is insurance on your car doing for you? Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Just like SSI. Y'all know what SSI is, Social Security and income, right? This made me upset. My mom, this made me upset. My mom is very dependent on her SSI. But what they do is you'll work till you 55 to 65 years old. They'll take all the money that you accumulated paying on your SSI and put into a CD. In that CD, they'll give you a portion every month. You feel what I'm saying? But then the rest of your money is the burst paying off foreign governments, paying off debt with your money that you worked for 50 plus years for. People don't know that. It made me hot. But I can't tell Mom Deuce that because she's you know what I'm saying? She's so old thinking, you know, but I'm gonna still tell her. But whole life insurance is what our culture needs to get on. Now, people gonna tell you it's not worth it because when you spend it and you don't pay it back, then they're gonna take it out of this and take it out of that. I would study it, but at the end of the day, when you get whole life insurance, you should have a goal. You should have a reason why you're doing it. Period. You should have a reason why you're doing whole life insurance. You're not gonna pay like $400 or $500 a month. You know what I'm saying? Not have a goal of the reason why you're doing cash value. It's the reason why you're doing cash value. Now, if you're doing that to go get a car or some socks or some shoes or something, and go to get a job. Because now you can put yourself in debt and your beneficiaries, which is your kids, is going to be out of luck. Don't do that. You feel what I'm saying? But whole life insurance, that's something that we need to be on. Because we could be way better than what we is right now. And living benefits. Y'all know about living benefits?
Yeah, I know a little something about it.
Living benefits is another way of paying for your health care payments, well, whatever it is. Healthcare is just like car insurance. Healthcare is just like car insurance. Medicaid, just like car insurance. Living benefits, whole life insurance is what we need. You feel what I'm saying? To pay for major procedures, vacations, that's meaningful. You feel what I'm saying? Real estate, businesses. That's what that's for.
Yeah. You need burial insurance. Burial insurance is another thing that you should have. You know, so
What's that?
Burial insurance.
Burial.
You know what I mean? Yeah, burial.
Okay.
When you have to bury your loved ones, like if you're like if your mom or your grandmother, whoever dies, and they got something, they can, basically funeral expenses. Funeral.
I gotta look into that.
Yeah, basically, so when you die, you can pay for that. You can pay for that coffin or that urn or whatever you're gonna get up out of here. Me personally, I think it makes more sense to cremate than to put somebody in the ground because it's ashes, dust to dust anyway. And I'm like, I don't see the whole point of putting the whole body in the ground and spending all that extra money because you got to think it's probably a difference of $5,000 to $10,000 less money you spending if you just if you cremate somebody versus buying a whole casket and put it in the ground. It's the body gonna go turn to ashes anyway.
I was just say that.
Huh?
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that. I didn't want to sound cruel, but at the end of the day, when you put somebody in the ground, they're not there. You might got bones, whatever like that, but when you cremate, you have that body. You know what I'm saying with you. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm totally with you on that, and it's less expensive. But traditional living wise, you know what I'm saying, we want to hang on to traditional instead of just changing with the game. So
yeah,
that's
then
what I'm about.
My grandmother was cremated, so that's kind of what
my dad was too.
Yeah, and I kind of told my family the same thing. Like they don't want me to do it that way, but I'm just like, me personally, I don't just see the whole point of putting my body in the ground unless I would say less I was like, God forbid, I was like brutally murdered, and you want to keep my body around just in case you had to go back in and do an autopsy years from now or something.
That's a different story, yeah.
Or something crazy. But other than that, if it ain't some kind of crazy reason why I checked out of here, then just cremate me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, or whatever.
Same thing with me. Don't. And then I went through my funerals anyway. It caused a problem with the family. You feel what I'm saying? Like you gotta gather up money, and then who's gonna do the planning and where you gonna bury it. It's just too much when it comes down to that procedure.
Yeah.
Hey, just cut me short. Just cut me
Especially
short. I live my life.
closed casket situation anyway. So if you wanna, let's say you die and it's your body is so, messed up where they can't even do an open they have to do closed
Yeah,
casket, do an open
yeah.
casket. And I'm like, I really don't see the reason why we putting you in the ground if your
Save that
body is
money, man.
that gone
Save
messed
that
up.
money.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Save
that mean
that
that's
money.
my opinion. Everybody got their own way of doing things. I ain't, I'm not saying that nobody's way is wrong. I'm just going off of what I would do if it was
No,
in
just
my
your opinion.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just your
So
opinion. Nothing wrong with
yeah,
that.
definitely. So real quick, just want to shout out to Village Global Network, our 181 countries, 10 radio stations. Hit us up on 95 South Podcast at gmail.com if you want to interview or if you want us out for a media event or something of that nature. And also follow us on our YouTube page, 910 Sports, Entertainment Network, whatever, and please subscribe on that page. So anyway, Jacob, you got any more questions?
No, sir. It's been a fabulous interview. A lot of great points. A lot of jewels was dropped, man. And just know, Terry, I'll be in touch with you. I definitely be contact Jonathan.
Please
So
do.
man, we can set up a call, and so me, you, I can get a call, and so we can make something happen, and just drive with a purpose, and so it can impact some other lives.
Let's do it, man. I'm on a mission and I'm not stopping.
Yes,
No
sir.
afraid.
So when it comes to your music, what you got coming out soon, or what do you got going on on the music side?
Well, I took a break on the music. My thing with the music side of things is really creating another outlet or platform to help more artists to get heard or just put them in better positions, because these open mic showcases down here, it just skipping and scamming these artists. So I want to be the one with change.
Yeah, and that's one of the thing I've been telling people for. I've been screaming to the high heavens probably the last year or so, because I like I said, I moved here in '08. And when I tell Jacob this all the time, I said, when I moved here between probably '08 and 13, 14, the open mic showcase scene was on
Right.
fire. You know what I mean? You could go to an event almost every day of the week and you go to a halfway decent open mic showcase that would have producers and engineers and promoters and all kind of different people there, record label execs and different people that was actually trying to look for artists and real talent. That's why you had such a surplus of artists coming out of Atlanta for a while. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't by accident. Because they were truly actually out here grabbing artists up and putting them on, whether it was the Migos or whether it was a Young Thug or whatever. We was hearing about Young Thug and the open mic scene and the Migos and certain these other artists. And I think one thing we got to get back to is, and I was telling Jacob this when we was together last weekend, we got to get back where the DJs are probably behind their own events, because the promoters coming in, and I think a lot of it's
Thank
just
you.
money grab. Back in the day when the DJs was controlling their own events, it had
Mm-hmm.
more of an impact to it, and it had more of a meaning because they knew
DJ
what
and artists.
exactly. So I think we need to get back to that, and not so much of these janky promoters,
Janky
you know what I'm
promoters.
saying, out here just taking money. Because we was in an event doing an A3C festival weekend, and I'm not gonna call any names, but we was at an event and they had nobody there that was representing anything. They just had a bunch of artists together in a room
Yep.
perform. And I looked at Jacob at the end of the night and I said, "What was the purpose of all this? Like, we out here doing media." And I'm said, I feel like we wasted our time. We came out here and did
That's what I'm
media,
talking about.
and we was the only thing they had was
That's what I'm
us.
talking about.
But what
Yep.
did they have that of substance that's going to make them want to keep going and stuff like this? This is why these
Yeah.
artists don't come out the house, because you're wasting their time and their money. You know
Yep.
what I mean? So
Yep. I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
I'm with you
So
on that, man. I just want to be that change. I used to be that artist that performed and rocked it out, but left. And then I had to think about like, okay, I gotta do the same thing tomorrow, the next day, and the next day. Like I ain't meet nobody, I ain't shake nobody's hands. There's no publicity. All I got was a video of me recording and put it on my Instagram. And all they gonna do is say, "Don't give up." Like, nah,
mm-hmm.
man. They
Yeah,
gotta be better than this.
exactly. So, brother, I appreciate you coming on here and giving us
Appreciate
your
y'all.
time. And just let everybody know where they can find you or anything you got coming up that people need to know about or whatever.
Well, it's your boy Lil Terry, man, and just look up my businesses in the crib, NTH3CRIB. My foundation, You Are in the Crib Foundation, URNTH3CRIB Foundation. You can follow me at Lil Terry on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Okay, that's what's up. And shout out to She Real Radio, TW Entertainment. And like I said, we want to thank this man for coming on, Lord Terry. Y'all keep on following this man, supporting him, because the one thing that he's doing, he's out here trying to represent and uplift the community, especially when it comes to our youth. And we need more of him out here more than we need anything else. So, till next time, everybody, God bless y'all. Have a
God
wonderful
bless you. Salute.
Got the good vibes, got the 1942 pouring in my cup.